Hello again, Libra. It's June 2016, and some of the adverse financial aspects that have been upon you in the last couple of months look like they're starting to clear. Hooray, you say. Mars has been retrograde in your third and then second house. Second house is finances. It will continue its retrograde motion up until the 30th of June. Mars is a pretty impulsive planet. It's hot-headed. It can produce arguments, differences of opinion over how to spend money, how you're earning it. So it's important to get that side of your life straightened out. On the 30th, it will do an apparent, what we call stationary direct positioning. That means it will appear to be completely still before it moves forward. It's not so welcome in the second house of finances for all the above reasons. But when it moves to your third house, after it's finished that, early next month, and we're going to talk more about that for you next time round, it should give you the courage to do some of the things you haven't been able to do. Well, I guess courage is one thing, but actually having the means to do it is another, because we do see Jupiter moving through your 12th house of expenses, not considered such a good placement, excepting for the fact that it co-rules your third and sixth house. And that can show, notwithstanding the Mars movement, that this can be lucky towards the end of the month, early next month, in terms of earnings. There could be some catalyst there by way of some unusual people that you meet this month, and I say that because of the close proximity of the moon to Uranus in your 7th house. That's the western part of the chart, and then of course the new moon taking place in the 9th house of travels and education, and to some extent spirituality. For some of you there can be an acceleration of earnings through travelling to meet people that can help you. The expenses that we're talking about here could be on education. So that's what I'm saying there, that sometimes it appears that a planet that is causing loss is not actually causing loss. That's just a stepping stone to a much more improved situation. So naturally, if you spend money on education, you improve your skills, and that then opens the door to bigger and better things professionally. In other words, higher salary because of your new skill set. So as long as you're spending your money on things that are what I'd call an investment rather than a liability, then that's okay, because although you won't get the money immediately, it is something that will happen over time. One of the other important planets here at the moment is Mercury for you. Mercury is ruling your 12th house as well, and that's in the 8th house. Again, a negative planet in a negative position is very, very good up until it moves its position on the 13th. So this is after the new moon, which takes place in the 9th house. That's that house of education, spirituality, long distance travels. That ruler of the 12th house moving to the 9th house. And that also accentuates the opportunity for travels, for not just physical travels, but for expanding your mental horizons. That's, I guess, a form of travel. You'll be fascinated by different people. Some of you may want to take up new languages. You could be in connection with people at a foreign place. Some of you may even fall in love with someone in a foreign place. Reasoning being, Venus, the planet of love, also happens to be transiting this 9th house of your horoscope during this period. So when there's a connection between this 12th house of foreign immigration and long distance and the 9th house of journeys and higher communication, then there could well be some sort of connection there, at least with a friend or someone that you feel comfortable with who is at a distance. Mercury runs into a few hard aspects, as I mentioned, to some of the other star signs that'll take place with the opposition of Saturn and the square of Neptune around the 21st. So you are unable, incapable, or obstructed in sharing your ideas, or perhaps going on that journey to meet this person. That's one option there. There are many, many options, but suffice to say that that is going to put the brakes on your ability to communicate and to expand those horizons. Fortunately, it's a fast-moving planet, one of the fastest, and it actually makes its way through these aspects very rapidly, and along with the planet Mars, which goes into its forward motion, I mentioned that earlier on the 30th, Mercury also moves into the 10th house of your profession on the 30th. So you're going to start to feel that more or less around the last week of the month as well. So that's all very, very good stuff too. Saturn moving through your 3rd house is an exceptionally good placement, except for the fact that Venus moves to the opposition. You've also got the Sun in opposition to Saturn there from that 9th house. This shows a few more responsibilities, and particularly around your relationships, which could be rather unfulfilling, to say the least. Again, Venus is a reasonably fast-moving planet. We see that it makes that opposition aspect early in the month on June 4th. So fortunately, after that, it will start to move away and create a more favourable aspect. Excessive expenditure, still there around the 5th or leading up to it, with Venus in the square aspect of Jupiter. But then moving to a fine sextile aspect to Uranus in your 7th house, that brings back some opportunities for reconciliation, for a bit of excitement. And really the key to that, if you want to improve your relationships this month, Libra, is to try something completely different. And that goes for how you present yourself. You know, the way you dress, the way you speak. Just try something, a bit of role playing could really revitalise the relationship. I'm hoping you'll join me again next month, but don't do that until you stop off at astrology.com.au to get more detailed insights into this month and the coming months throughout 2016, and the daily readings as well. Lots of other free stuff there for you to dabble in and test your psychic powers, to connect with people like me if you want. If you're looking for a more personal reading, you know where to go, astrology.com.au. Take care, and until next month, have a safe and happy period. Bye-bye.